What's up? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below as part of the channel. The video you just witnessed was from Dublin in Ireland, and specifically in Cherry Orchard, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on that video and indeed linking into this article that I have here, because I believe all of this is linked, and specifically when I see the media in unison condemn what had happened in Cherry Orchard, I say to myself, isn't that very interesting considering what has happened in the past and the media were fully on side with the type of action that was taken. Now, when you look at the situation, allegedly it was a female policewoman that was driving the car, and quite clearly what happened when you've seen the lights go on was that she heard that someone said something very mean down the road and it was a hate crime, and she sped off to get to that. This is where it's going, by the way, guys. They're not interested in dealing with people like you've just seen in the video. And that is also a very, very stark image and stark video to remind yourself of what's going on in America and the similar behaviour happening and being perpetrated openly in massive cities like New York and Chicago and various other ones. And it's starting to be implemented here. Currently, at this moment in time, Enoch Burke is sitting in Mountjoy for refusing. Ultimately, I don't care what the left decide to say, he broke a court order. It's not like you people enjoy laws or orders from the past, like, you know, the Geneva Convention or the Nuremberg Code or anything like that. You don't like to have anything to do with those. So, you know, you can fob yourself off there now when you have a chance. But Enoch Burke is sitting in a jail cell for ultimately refusing to call a boy a they. However, you've got people like Luke O'Neill, Tony Holohan, Paul Reid, and various members of the cabinet or government still running around, along with various members of the media and NEFA still running around without being arrested. Overall, society looks at that and says to themselves, what's the story with that? They also then look at the DPP failing to prosecute Leo Varadkar and look at that also and say, what's the story with that? So you see what I'm saying? You see the picture I'm painting here? All of that sort of behaviour that went on for the last 2 years from them hasn't been punished. However, what they want to do in unison is give out about fellas that are driving cars around dangerously, let's admit it, but also because the ultimate aim and goal is to say, look how terrible these people are, we should do something about this, and they get the mob together and the mob go, yeah, that's what we should do, take their dole away from them. Well, what's going to happen? What they'll decide to do is, and what they're pushing even more and more and more, are public service cards. Now, what's a public service card? A public service card is a card with your information, details, and your image on it. That's the beginning, in my view, of a social credit system. So when behaviours like you're seeing happen, and there doesn't seem to be a large, wide-scale response, which there can be, that's for a reason. Now, my view is this. How come the same energy wasn't shown, because I'm a fan of law and order, how come the same energy wasn't shown to Cherry Orchard as there had been shown to people protesting for freedoms, rights, civil liberties peacefully in town? How come when Tony Holohan was upset at people going out and enjoying themselves because a lot of people seen through the absolute BS that happened over the last couple of years, how come this was the response? You know what I'm saying? You're starting to see what's going on. Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir with this channel, and I know that I'm preaching to the choir with people that are already following this. But do you see the different types of moves that are being made by these people? It's very simple. And it's all for one goal. It's to herd people into turning against each other, which some people have done online. However, I was very much so warmed the cockles of my heart to see people say, you're worried about the lads in Cherry Orchard? What about the people sitting in the doll? And I was like, oh, this is fantastic. This is great. Great to see this. Because what's also happened too is people beforehand would have felt sympathy and indeed something towards the Gardaí, but not anymore after this. They don't. And myself included. I look at situations that happen and I say to myself, well, if these things happened in front of me, what would I do? In years gone by, I would have helped out. Now I'm just walking on. Because when my civil rights, liberties and freedoms were under threat and were taken away from me for 2 years, you all sat idly by, collected the paycheck and did nothing about it and are still doing nothing about it. So this comes from the 6th of June 2021. Dublin disorder. 19 arrested after crowds clashed with police for a second night. 2 officers were injured, a patrol vehicle was damaged, and a passerby taken to hospital after being assaulted in the disorder. Oh, it must have been a wild one. What went on, lads? What happened here? Oh, that's what happened. Following the disorder, officers have appealed to the public to comply with the CON guidelines to avoid crowded areas and large gatherings. This is the type of stuff that went on. So this is stuff that went on in 2021 that they're trying to memory hole at the moment. They're trying to make you forget. And this is just the next thing. Oh, look what's going on at Cherry Orchard. We need to do something about that. Well, what do we need to do? We need to find out who all these people are and make sure they're bagged and tagged and make sure that they're going to be getting their dole and they're going to have the public service cards. Oh, hang on here for a second here. That seems like more state surveillance. That doesn't seem like a good idea here. And funnily enough, when you look at that situation, a lot of people share the opinion that is state surveillance has been floated by the media for the last 2 years openly. How come in a situation like that, when criminality is very much so in full flow, how come it always seems like people get away? I mean, not too long ago, there was a situation at St. Stephen's Green which everybody condemned and everybody distanced themselves from. This Jake Merriman character, Rocket Man as he was called. I haven't seen an article that has updated what went on there. Very strange, isn't it? So to me, you've got very big things that are happening now, and there's a mass awakening that has occurred and is occurring because, as I always like to say, when you've seen a magic trick performed and you understand how the magic trick is performed, you begin to see straight through the illusions very quickly, and that is what's happening now. So there you go. The media are very upset about that Cherry Orchard video, not upset about the last 2 years, not upset about reactions like this, which are quite clearly capable and possible from the Gardaí, but wasn't shown to Cherry Orchard. How about that, huh? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads. Check out the links posted in the description down below the support channel, and talk to you later. Look.